Welcome to another episode of In My Garage. I'm Richard, and today we meet the owner of a European classic, the first French car to sell over 1 million units. Hello, John. Thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure, Richard.
John, can I ask, what have you got in your garage?
Let's have a look.
Wow, John, what a beautiful car.
Yeah, some of us think so.
So, John, what have we got here?
Well, we've got a 1951 Renault 4CV, sold in Australia as the Renault 750. And this is a 1951 car built in Paris, right-hand drive, not assembled in Australia. And it was my first car.
Your first car?
Yes. Wow. I bought it in my last year of school for $60 in 1966 in Adelaide.
And it's been in the family ever since?
More or less. It had 12 years at the National Motor Museum at Birdwood, and they gave it back to me in 1989.
Brilliant. Has it always been this colour?
We painted it blue in 1966 when I bought it. It had been a terrible powder blue before that, and we've kept it blue ever since.
Why the Renault? What made
Why
you...
the Renault? Well, when I was at school, we had a Latvian mechanic as a next-door neighbour, and he was retired, and he used to restore these and sell them for $100.
Wow, okay.
And so he taught me all that I knew early on about being a mechanic. We bought this, towed it home, and got it going.
Got it, so you towed it home, it weren't actually running when you got it, okay.
No, and it was $60. I could afford it, and $40 to fix it. What we have is a French austerity car designed to be cheap as chips at the end of World War II. And the styling, like the Peugeot 203, is based on pre-war mid-30s American Chevrolets, but scaled. And that was it. It was a cheap French family car.
For the masses?
For the masses, many of whom wouldn't have had driver's licenses.
Ah, okay.
They sold about 14,000 of them in Australia.
Okay.
And this is one of the few imported ones. Most were assembled in Sydney.
Yes, that's right. Yes, they would come as a kit form and they just put them together, wouldn't it? Yes, that was it. But some were just brought over. Okay.
Yes, that's right.
And this was an important car for Renault, wasn't it? I mean, it really, especially after the war, this was...
Well, the factories had been destroyed. Their aircraft industry had completely gone because they were a huge manufacturer of aircraft engines. And all of their pre-war stuff mostly was big, expensive cars.
Okay.
And they only had one small car, the Juva Quattro, and it was an obsolete thing like a Morris 8. And the whole enterprise hinged on this being successful.
I believe this was to compete against the Beetle, which was coming out, but Porsche, did that have anything to do with the design?
Porsche visited the factory, that seems to be known, during the war. And my view is that he had very little to do with the design of this, except the first prototype had some reflections. But Renault, being French, certainly didn't want to copy a German car. And when the company was nationalised, the first managing director insisted that it should be a four-door car, not a two-door car. Now, Porsche, with the Volkswagen, really copied Ledvinka of Tatra in Czechoslovakia. And it was Tatra that pioneered this style of motor car. And Mercedes-Benz built them as well in the 1930s, but they're very rare, obviously.
And John, you have to excuse my French, but we're going to go Le Motte de Beurre. That was its nickname.
Le Motte de Beurre. It was known as the little pat of butter at one stage because it was said that the early cars, and the early prototypes looked like it, were all painted with Africa Core paint that was stocked in the factory in Paris. And the spider wheels on this car are exactly that colour.
That's the beige.
So that's your Motte de Beurre.
Motte de Beurre. Is there anything else you can tell us about the design features on this?
Well, I think the interesting thing for me is that they made it a four-door car and made such a small car a four-door car. So there were many, many accessories for them. So you see photographs of the period with roof racks covered in children's gear and pushers and prams and tents and God knows what. You even see a few of them towing very small plywood caravans.
It was a family car, yeah. I believe there was a beach version or something. Or was that more of a myth?
They made 50, I think. 50. It was a gear-styled thing. They're worth a fortune now. There are a few of them in America and a few of them in Europe. You see them for sale. For an economy car, they were actually way ahead of some. For example, they're electric windscreen wipers, not vacuum operated. Yes. It has a heater as standard equipment, and it has self-cancelling flashing indicators. And not many cars in the early 1950s had self-cancelling flashing indicators.
So John, let's have a look at the front here. So we've got this Detroit type look at the front here with this patin grille. You've got your Sibby light on here. But what's going on here with this piece of chrome here?
Yeah, well, this is one of the sole remaining bits of Art Deco styling from the pre-war Renaults, which had a front engine, of course, but they had a styled handle a little bit like that. But in this case, of course, it opens up to show a very small boot with a spare wheel in it.
What's going on here, John? What's this?
Well, this is a very rare reserve fuel can, called in French a nourrice, which translates directly as wet nurse, so which is pretty much what it is. And I found it for sale online, and it popped up for sale in front of me as I was looking, and so I bought it immediately.
What an all, that's brilliant.
I've only seen 2 of them for sale in 50 years.
So John, let's close this down and we'll have a look at the rest of the car.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
So John, we've got the monocoque body. What happened with the design? How did they come to this?
Every little bit of this shape has been designed from a blank sheet of paper, basically. And the model for the overall style of the car is 1930s Detroit. And you can see elements of it all over the place, from the front corner, suicide doors with a single pivot maybe, in the back, the curves of the back mud garden, the way the roof sweeps down. It's not like anything that was made in Europe in the 1930s.
It's beautiful. I've got to ask, this came out a year before the 2CV went onto market, so it was there first. 4CV, 2CV, so what is it, some sort of taxation or something?
It's the French horsepower system. It's 4 chevaux, 4 horses.
Oh, okay.
Well, let me show you the suicide doors.
Lovely, John. Absolutely brilliant.
So you have very good access, and that's the fairly modest interior. Flat floor right across, all controls ready to hand.
So wide, and it's so easy to get into like that. It really does make a difference, doesn't it?
Oh, it's very simple to get into.
It's better than some modern cars, that's right, yeah. Okay, John, so what have we got inside here? Minimalist seems to be the word here.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we've got a very nice conditioned steering wheel that I was very lucky to find, and it's the correct steering wheel. That is the only instrumentation the car came with. So speedometer, fuel gauge, temperature gauge, and a trip meter.
It's a lovely design, it's beautiful.
Oh, it is. It's French Jaeger. It's really nice. The other instruments were installed by an 18-year-old owner. Okay. That's me, a long time ago.
Bit of go fast.
Yeah, an old friend used to call them worry meters. Here's the gear lever with a very short throw, and the choke is this lever on the floor, because it's a manual choke carburetor, and the handbrake's between the seats and works really well.
And then pedals are very close to each other, aren't they?
Yes, because it's 15-inch wheels, so the wheel arches intrude a long way. And finally, the switch for the lights.
I love that. That's really good.
So this controls the various different headlamp functions, and when you press it in, you get the horn.
Brilliant.
Which is a proper French horn.
And what about this emblem on the steering wheel there?
Yeah, that's Mr. Quillery's emblem. He was the Frenchman who designed and patented this type of steering wheel, which dominated the American market at one stage. He apparently made an absolute fortune.
And do the seats adjust backwards and forwards or not?
Well, these early ones, there's a wing bolt down here, and you can move them backwards and forwards about 2 inches. But if you undo the bolt, you can take them out for a picnic.
There you go.
It's very French.
Very French.
Yeah, very French.
It's simple but clever.
Yeah.
That's what's great about it.
Yes.
Okay, John, let's have a look at the rear and see what's going on here.
Well, obviously the rear engine is underneath that. Here's one of the last little features of Art Deco from the 1930s that was carried through in the design style. That's the radiator cap.
Yes.
And it says water. In the days of petrol stations where you got service, you had to get out very quickly to stop them putting petrol into the radiator, because the petrol filler is there inside the engine bay. And there you have simple 4-cylinder engine, alloy cylinder head in 1947, which isn't too bad. The radiator is through there. It's a water-cooled car.
So the radiator is at the back?
Yeah, the radiator is
move it to the front.
Just behind the back seat. And the air comes in from the sides, but also from underneath. And the later cars had a scoop underneath to get more air through. They're adequate, but only just.
And they had trouble with the dust, didn't they, when they first come to Australia? That was a problem because it used to...
Yes.
With the air intake, but they made some air filter system at the front or something?
They did. The simple air filter there is almost ineffective in the early cars. Okay. I've got a modern paper filter in that, so it filters very well. But the later cars in Australia had what they must have developed for the Sahara Desert, and they had an oil bath and a dry filter, and they had a pipe under the car to the front to get clean air from between the front wheels. And that worked particularly well.
So what size engine we got here?
Yes, 748 cc's approximately, and 21 brake horsepower with a 3-speed gearbox with synchromesh on second and third.
Brilliant.
And the engine's eminently tunable, and you can enlarge them in size up to about 900 cc's. It's a wet sleeve motor, so a lot of what you do is very easy. This one was rebuilt in 1970, and apart from my having the head off a couple of times, it's absolutely fine.
Yeah, bulletproof, absolutely bulletproof.
Yeah, very reliable, very simple. The only other thing is these 2 vents at the bottom. They're an addition, but they're a genuine French accessory, and it's to get more air out of the engine bay for improved cooling. I can't tell whether they work or not.
Okay, John, we're looking at a car from the 50s. Is there any improvements you've done on it?
Well, I've tried to keep it very much as original as possible. We have a club in Perth called the Special Interest Vehicle Association, and we're a bit insanely keen on originality. So this is almost completely original, except it has a 6-volt alternator. It has these big rear flashes. They're French reversing lights from a Citroën DS, actually. The engine is completely standard regarding power. I've got a new gearbox in that's got better quality synchromesh than the original, but with the same gear ratios, made for me in France. And it's got brakes the same size as the competition version. So that's the engine bay.
Right, John, so what have we got here? We've got some models going on and pictures. Tell us about it.
Yes, well, there are about 5,000,003 different small models of Renault 4CVs, but here's a classic French one going on holiday, complete with baguettes on the roof. And this is a very rare item indeed. It's an original cutaway drawing of a prototype 4CV, which I found for sale on eBay. And it's the exact drawing that was used on a lot of advertisements in the 1950s.
That's fantastic.
Heaven knows how it ended up on eBay, but it's quite a precious pen and ink drawing, beautifully done. The rocks reflect what I've been doing for the last 50 years, which is hydrogeology, underground water, a form of geology. Well, I was a geology student when I bought this car and got it going, and so it had to do all my geology field trips as a student. So it's been up to Broken Hill when it was still a dirt road from Adelaide to Broken Hill, and up north of that road into the station country. And then once we moved on in the 1970s and got the R8, then the R8 came to many drill sites in South Australia over the years.
I was going to say that you've gone from one contrast to another. This is a totally different vehicle here. Still another Renault, but it's got some underpinnings of the original 4CV.
Yeah, the R8 is essentially a Dauphine with a different skin and different mechanicals. So it's the same underpinnings as the 4CV, but the wheelbase is 150 millimetres longer. But this is a proper modern car that keeps up with traffic and you can drive interstate in. And they both have the same characteristic of big wheels and very good traction.
Okay.
So you don't need a big 4-wheel drive to get to places, you just need a bit of common sense and traction.
It's definitely a Vegemite car. You either love it or you hate it. I do like it, it's very nice. So John, I guess there's only one thing left for us to do. Is there any chance of a drive?
Yeah, let's do it.
So John, how's the car drive? How does it feel like to you?
It drives pretty well actually. It's got a nice enough gearbox. The clutch is really nice. It's quite a torquey little engine. The torque's all low down.
Well, yeah. You can really hear that engine though, can't you? It's capable though. It's not slow, is it? It's running really lovely, but...
Oh, it's not too bad. This is a hill, and with my modern gearbox with proper synchromesh, it's very easy to drive. And providing you drive it within its comfort zone, it's very effective. Even on the freeway, in the left-hand lane, doing 90 kilometers an hour, you keep up with people because people on the freeway don't drive at 100 anyway.
No. Does it attract any attention?
Oh yes. Driving along, you get people waving and hooting from time to time. You get people looking at it just plain perplexed because they haven't the slightest idea what it is. But as soon as you park it, everywhere you stop, you get middle-aged men coming up saying, "Is that a Mori?"
Yeah, you got your Morris.
Is that a Fiat?
Yes.
But eventually they realise what it is and they say, "Oh, my uncle had one of them, I reckon."
You said about events. What about sort of the clubs? Are you part of the clubs for Renaults?
In Perth, we have a French and Fantastic Automobile Club, of which I'm a member, and we have the Renault 4CV Register of Australia, of which I'm the national coordinator.
Ah, okay.
And it's a national club with about 130 members, and we get 20 or 30 cars along to our events in central New South Wales.
Are there many of these Renaults in Perth?
Well, I reckon we've got between 10 and 12. Around Australia, I'd say we've got probably 100 or so, and we've certainly got them all over the country except Northern Territory.
What about the missus though? Does she like the Renaults as well? Or
We met because she had one at university. So these were the only two at Adelaide University, and I met her because I saw her driving it. So I introduced myself. Alex will tell you that she married her mechanic.
Oh, it's really capable, this car. I'm really impressed with it.
If you had one of these in 1950, you'd have been pretty happy with it.
Yeah, you would have been very impressed. John, that was really good. I really enjoyed that. Thank you very much for showing your colours.
My pleasure, always. Thank you.